Hello and welcome to the Easy English Listening Podcast. I'm Avery.
And I'm Melody. We are so happy you are joining us today to practice your English.
Today we have a very interesting topic. The title of our episode is Why No One Wants to Live in Canada.
Wow, Avery, that sounds really negative. Canada is famous for being a great place to live. Many people dream of moving there.
Exactly. And of course, the title is just a way to get your attention. Lots of people want to live in Canada. But recently, things have been changing.
Right. It's not a perfect paradise. Like any country, it has its problems. And today, we are going to talk about some of the reasons why some people, even some Canadians, are thinking about leaving.
So, what is the number one reason? I think I know what it is. It's about money.
Yes, you got it. The biggest problem right now is the cost of living. That phrase, cost of living, means how much money you need for basic things, like food, transportation, and a place to live.
The daily necessities.
And in Canada, the cost of these things has gone up a lot, especially housing. Finding a house or an apartment to rent is incredibly expensive, especially in big cities like Toronto and Vancouver.
I heard that a small one-bedroom apartment in Toronto can cost over 2,500 Canadian dollars per month. That is a huge amount of money.
It is, and wages, or the money you earn from your job, have not increased as quickly, so people are finding it harder and harder to afford a place to live.
Yeah, that makes sense. If your rent is half of your salary, it's very difficult to save money or pay for other things.
Exactly. This is called a housing crisis. A crisis is a time of intense difficulty or danger. So a housing crisis means it is very, very difficult to find a good home that you can afford.
And what about jobs? Is it easy to find a good job in Canada?
That's another complex issue. While Canada has a fairly low unemployment rate, many immigrants and even some Canadians struggle to find jobs that match their skills and education.
Okay, so cost of living, especially housing, is a big problem. What else is causing issues for people in Canada?
Well, another big topic is healthcare. Now, Canada is famous for its universal healthcare system. This means that you don't have to pay when you go to the doctor or the hospital. The government pays for it with taxes.
That sounds amazing. In many countries, like the United States, healthcare can be very expensive.
It does sound good, and in many ways it is. But there's a big problem: wait times. Wait times refers to the amount of time you have to wait to get medical care.
Right, so if you need to see a specialist, like a doctor for your heart or skin, you might have to wait for many months, even a year or longer.
And millions of Canadians don't have a family doctor. A family doctor is your main doctor who you see for general health problems.
Wow, so if you get sick, but it's not an emergency, where do you go?
You have to go to a walk-in clinic or an emergency room where you might wait for many, many hours just to see a doctor for a simple problem.
That sounds really frustrating. So the healthcare is free, but it's very slow and difficult to access.
That's a good way to describe it. It's a system that is under a lot of stress.
Okay, so we have the high cost of living and a stressed healthcare system. Is there anything else?
Let's talk about something a little more natural: the weather.
Ah, of course. Canada is famous for being cold.
And it is. The winters are very long and very cold in most of the country. We're talking about 5 or 6 months of snow and ice.
I can't imagine. Temperatures can go down to minus 20 or minus 30 degrees Celsius. That is unbelievably cold.
And the lack of sunlight during the winter can be difficult for some people. It gets dark very early in the afternoon. For people who come from warmer countries, this can be a very big shock.
Totally. It affects your mood and your lifestyle. You spend a lot more time indoors.
It really does. Now, Canadian summers can be beautiful, but they are short. For some, the long, hard winter is just not worth it.
Okay, so this all sounds pretty bad, Melody. High costs, slow healthcare, and freezing weather. It sounds like our episode title is correct.
Well, let's not forget the other side of the story. We've talked about the negatives, but Canada still has so much to offer.
That's a very important point. Let's balance the conversation. What are some of the great things about Canada?
Well, for one, it is an incredibly safe and stable country. Crime rates are low compared to many other places in the world. People feel safe walking around in their cities.
Right. Safety is a huge factor for people, especially for families.
Another huge positive is multiculturalism. Canada is one of the most diverse countries in the world. Cities like Toronto are famous for having people from every corner of the globe.
That means you can find amazing food, festivals, and culture from all over the world. It's a very welcoming place for immigrants or people who move to a new country.
It is, and let's not forget about nature. Canada is the second largest country in the world, and it has some of the most beautiful natural landscapes you will ever see.
The Rocky Mountains, the beautiful lakes, the vast forests. If you love the outdoors, it's a paradise.
So, to summarize, we have some serious challenges. The cost of living is very high, the healthcare system is struggling, and the winters are tough.
But on the other hand, it's safe, diverse, welcoming to immigrants, and has stunning natural beauty.
Exactly. So the idea that no one wants to live in Canada is not true, but it is true that Canada is facing some big problems, and it's not the easy, perfect dream that some people imagine.
It's a more complex picture. Every country has its pros and cons, its good and bad sides. It's important to look at both.
Well said, Avery. And that brings us to the end of our episode. We hope this was a helpful and interesting topic for your English listening practice.
Thank you for listening to the Easy English Listening Podcast. Join us again next time.
Goodbye for now.